Okay, our next stove is one of my alcohol stoves. This is probably the first alcohol stove I ever purchased. You can make an alcohol stove that functions like this out of a soda can. Um, do a search on YouTube for that, and you'll find a whole bunch of videos for that. I don't have a video for doing that. I'll probably do one just for fun. I've made them and they work. I don't have any with me. I tend to toss them out after a while, but it's small. This is where the fuel goes. The one downside about these is in cold weather, they're not the greatest, because what actually ends up happening is when you light this, it causes the alcohol in here to vaporize and shoot out these jets in the side and become like your gas stove. So if it's really cold outside, it could take a while. You use denatured alcohol or methylated alcohol or heat, and we're going to use heat today. If you don't prime it, where you heat it up, it takes a lot longer for it to get going. And you definitely, I wouldn't take one of these as a primary stove in the winter. If you are going to do that, my recommendation would be to take your alcohol and maybe an hour or two before you got to use it, while you're walking, stick it under your armpit while you're hiking and stuff like that. Because of how I've got this set up, priming it. Actually, no, we can do this. We can prime it. We're going to cheat. I need a metal base to prime this. What I'm actually going to do is throw some alcohol. I don't want to start a fire in my garage. My wife would hate that. Just a little bit around the pan there. Like that. So, actually, we're going to use the light as something that's called a forever match. This is really, really cool. It's a metal match. It actually is like, boy, it's looking good. Nice little forever match. Doesn't actually burn down. That's lit. It's lit. That was hot. The downside about shooting video with alcohol stoves is you cannot see the flame. So, what I got here to show you there's a flame. As I get this leaf going. Leaf's burning. I'm going to let this prime itself a little bit. There's actually in the pan here, I let the alcohol, and it's heating up. And as soon as it gets warm enough, we're gonna. The jets are starting to come alive. I see one jet. Let's zoom in a little bit more. We'll get a little bit tighter shot of this bad boy. Yeah, you can see. You should be able to see the flames. Look at her go. Actually, when you look down at it, the alcohol is actually like boiling. I love this stove just because of this. Look at that bad boy. I mean, it's just like your range at your house. Take and put your canteen cup on top of there. And look at her go. I mean, that is a big, big flame. It's not bad. Now, unfortunately, when you start an alcohol stove, at least this one, you kind of got to let it go until it's out. So, you want to, if you got buddies with you, just use your stove until all the fuel's gone, so that you're not wasting your fuel. I guess you could snuff it out with something and then pour the fuel back into your container of some sort. But honestly, you're bringing 3-4 ounces of alcohol with you, and you probably use an ounce or less per boil. A cup or two of water, and for your meals, that's not going to take you long if you're doing it for a weekend trip. Again, if you're going to go out for a much longer time, there's better stoves for that. But if you're just going out for an overnighter or 2-nighters, this isn't a bad primary stove in good weather. Like I said, cold winter camping, I would not trust this as my primary stove just because of the fact that the colder the alcohol is, the longer it takes to do its job, because you want that alcohol as hot as possible. In fact, the water's already boiling that I had in the cup. Now there's only 7 ounces of water in there or so, but yeah, it came to a boil pretty quick. So I'm going to let this one burn out, and then what I'll do is I will break out my other alcohol stove. I like my other alcohol stove a lot better. It uses less fuel. It's much more compact, and this base that we're using right now is for that stove. I do like that one a lot better. But this one is nice. This is actually the first alcohol stove I've ever owned. So we'll be back in a few. Hold on.